I'm back. It's lap 61. I checked the app. Kimmy has just gotten Georgia. I'm like, well, fuck this. Started getting dressed. 10 minutes later, check my phone again. Oh, yeah. Apparently, Kimmy is out of the race. Charlotte was out of the race.
Yeah. Hydraulic failure.
And then I find out 6 hours later in Union. Or no, then I open TikTok. See Deb's video about the Nico Lewis pre-race interaction.
I had a feeling the minute Lewis pulled into the lead, I was like, I bet you Nico's doing the post-race interviews, because they didn't have him come in at all during the race, which I feel like is pretty unusual. And to be fair, it was a strategy heavy race though, so like it makes sense that it wasn't like him as much. But I was like, I just had a feeling that, and what are the odds? It's crazy that like Lewis hasn't been on the podium like that much recently, and Nico doesn't do it that much, because even though he's like in the rotation now, it's definitely, first of all, they definitely rotate between.
It's a much bigger rotation for the post-race interviews, because you've got all the Sky people.
Well, because Sky and F1 TV clearly go back and forth, but Sky rotates it between the German, Italian, and English contributors. Like sometimes it's a Sky Italy person, sometimes it's a Sky Germany person. Like it's not always. And I feel like Jensen gets it.
Or it's whoever the like F1 star of the like. Where it's like Felipe Massa in Brazil.
Yeah, and I would say about half the races they have like a special guest person, like because of the circuit to do it. So Nico, even now that he does it, he only does it like 2 or 3 times a year, if that.
I don't even know if he does do it that often.
I would say twice is like the absolute maximum. Jensen maybe 2 or 3. Like Jensen definitely does it a little bit more.
That's because Jensen, because he has American, he does a lot of or so many of the American races. He's just kind of like, it is generally a smaller like.
It's they send the B team to both Asia and North America, because the European. I mean, if I was a VIP, I'd be like, hey, do I want to go to the one that's 3 hours away or the one that requires me to get on? Sorry, like a 12 to 16 hour flight. Like that's not a hard.
The two like most memorable recent Nico like podium interviews were, of course, both in Spain. I think Nico has worked either 4 straight years for Sky in Spain or 3 of the last 4. Like 23 is Lewis Nico is new.
That's the first one. 23 is the first podium interview, which is crazy because at that point Lewis hadn't gotten a podium like in a while, and it was the first interview Nico ever did, like podium interview. Not obviously the first interview. That'd be crazy.
No, so there's that one.
And then Hungary.
That's also Horner. That's also Horner weekend. When he asked Horner like, what the fuck? What's going on with Checo? Which we just know turns out to totally be Red Bull's fault, not Checo's.
No, he was so right on that, and everybody, I remain mad about it to this day, and that's when I first knew that we were in a word comprehension crisis, because the fact that he was like, Checo was really strong at the beginning of this, he even says like, what changed? Like, has something happened with the car? Was there like an upgrade that like he just hasn't been able to get? He's literally asking like, what is different now? Because Checo was good at the beginning of the year, and now, and also to be like, people love to do this thing where they will take Nico commenting on like a session that just happened and be like, because he was like, Checo's really struggling. Like, he got P18. That's not a crazy thing to say about someone. Like, I think he would probably characterize his own performance like that, because what else can you say?
It's also true. Like,
right.
This is the thing. People both want to be able to like, to want commentators to be blunt, but also never be critical. And it's like, those two things are in contradiction. Like, when someone drives badly, it should be pointed out that it's bad.
Well, no, and it comes down to, like,
Where are you paused?
sorry. It comes down to, like, people will even like, people have gotten to the point where, like, shout out to them, people will even like, people have gotten to the point where, like, shout out to them, they'll literally say it out loud, but they're like, they are mad at Nico Rosberg for talking about Formula One as a retired driver. They're like, that's loser shit, like, blah, 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 blah. And maybe Lewis never will, because if there's anyone who would, like, pull that to prove a point, it would be him. But every single other form, like, even Seb, when he does an interview, is asked about, like, he talked about the Horner thing, he talked about the McLaren title fight, he has made comments on Formula One. Like, it's such an incredibly normal thing to do. And also, like, most of the champions, all of them except for Seb and Kimmy, who both retired very recently, have gone on to do some kind of TV commentary thing.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that, like,
and people are trying to do this so they're literally creating this standard so that they can shit on Nico Rosberg, not realizing it's gonna bite them in the fucking ass in 10 years when the next crop of people retire and none of them want to do this because you were so desperate to call Nico Rosberg a loser that you started, like, shitting on people for being on Sky Sports.
yeah, I mean, here's the thing, like, are we gonna, like, do we want I'm trying to
Also, Nico Rosberg is a loser. No offense, love him to death. But, like, you don't need to invent this, like, weird standard to shit on him. Like, you can just make fun of him. Like, it's not, there's plenty to work with.
No, for sure. What I was gonna say, like, I don't want to shit on him, this person specifically, because I like this person. I know we're both fans of this person. But, like, do we really want, like, the Sky coverage, or, you know, even the Sky, like, sells the rights, like, the main English language F1 broadcast to be, like, drivers of Alex Albon's quality?
Yeah,
Like,
that,
no, you want
right.
champions.
Exactly. And because world champions have the stature to speak the truth. Because people say you can call Nico Rosberg many, many things, but you cannot call him a liar. And every time one of these big, like, things explodes and there's discourse and people are mad at him, it's always for saying something that even the most hater of haters can agree is, like, objectively true. They're just mad about, like, how he said it or if he should have said it.
Or at least, like, you know, relatively normal, like, thing to have said. Right? If it's an opinion, like, it will be, like, a well within the realm of sensibility opinion.
Yeah, you can call him anything, you cannot call him, but also, like, people like Brundle, like, Karun wouldn't have had the balls to be like, oh, now you have nothing to say to Jos Verstappen. You know what I mean? They clearly exist. What?
Sorry, I was gonna say, Brundle is a weird one because, like, he never won a race, but everyone, it's just, like, weird, like, we just take care about that. We're just like, no, Brundle is a legend of the sport. And we all know that if he didn't keep breaking his fucking legs,
yeah,
you know, Bro would have been a legend.
I feel like Kubica is another one who, like, they all respect very greatly, despite the fact they didn't achieve, like, that much in Formula One. Similar reasons, like injury situation. I also think, weirdly, you know who, because it clearly is, like, the social hierarchy is, like, a 1-to-1 to how good of an F1 driver you are. And they, like, live in this bubble and, like, it clearly matters a lot in terms of, like, the social dynamics of the larger group, right? And it's pretty rare that you will, like, outkick your coverage in terms of, like, how good you are, but you know who does is Danny Rick.
Yeah, that's because he
is, like, a pleasant person.
One, a pleasant person, and two, like, I think Danny Rick and Valtteri Bottas, or Danny Rick and Mark Webber, or Danny Rick and Checo. I think all three of the names that I just named that are not Danny Rick have more career wins than Danny Rick. And yet, like, I don't know if anyone had, like, no one would claim that Bottas had a better career than Danny Rick. Like, more wins, more poles, more podiums, more moments. But, like, Danny Rick's 8 wins are, like, 8 of the most impressive wins in modern, like, F1 history. And so
yeah, I guess it depends on, like, how you define success. Because obviously Bottas had more, like, success. But I would rather be Danny Rick than Valtteri Bottas. You know what I mean? Like, I think that being Valtteri Bottas, like, not, again, he lives a great life. He seems like a nice guy. No hate, no hate, no shade. But I mean the, like the Barrichello. Let's call it the Barrichello.
Yeah, you ask 1,000, I was just going to bring it up. You ask 1,000 people, peak Danny Rick, peak Rubens Barrichello, in the same car for a season, give them W11, one of Schumann's Ferraris, whatever you want to call the most dominant car. Everyone, 1,000 F1 fans, 10,000 F1 fans, everyone is saying that Danny Rick.
It's not even about that though. I just feel like being Rubens, like being in that role is like fundamentally embarrassing, and I could never live with myself. And maybe that says something negative about my spirit and who I am as a person. It probably does. But like it would kill me. Like I think especially I don't know, maybe I could just be like whatever, like personality hire. But to definitively know that you're not good enough, I would almost rather be the Danny Rick who it's like, oh, if he could have, which like it's his own fault. Like if he had gotten his shit together even a little bit at McLaren, like he could have had a real shot and that would have been the right move. Because I don't think he would have held on at Red Bull until 2021. Like I think something would have gone awry. They just usually don't keep pairings on him. But maybe because like he and Max were close. I don't know. But
listen. Not that I want ever anybody to have to listen to this man ever again, but like, listen to Christian Horner talk about Danny Rick leaving. Like, it really does seem like Horner was like, yeah, why would we ever change this driver pairing? Like,
yeah, and like it also is like like if Max is happy, it could be like a Lewis Bottas situation where like they definitely kept him longer than they ordinarily would have because why rock the boat when you have a winning combination? You know what I mean? Like it's going good, especially if you have everybody on the grid just like witnessed the Lewis and Nico thing, and like the way Toto Wolff talks about that, like Vietnam veterans talk about the war, like it's crazy. 1 second, I can't find my toolbox. But yeah, so like
Bottas is objectively a more decorated.
Yeah, he had a better career in like the strict sense of the word, but like I think it's maybe just my personality. Like,
what is Bottas's like coolest or most impressive win?
I couldn't tell you one, but that's because that's like I don't remember anything that isn't directly relevant to Nico Rosberg, Lewis Hamilton, Sebastian Vettel, or Charles Leclerc.
That's not true. Okay, fine. What's Stanyer?
Okay, fine. But he had that really iconic Monza win. Like Monza is like tangentially adjacent. Also, I do have a soft spot for Danny Rick. Like he is anyone who is as devoted to Sebastian Vettel as that gets a little bit of affection in my book.
I mean, Danny Rick has Monaco. Danny Rick has an absolutely incredible.
He was ahead of Lewis, like Monza 2021. He was ahead of Lewis and Max on pace. So like people forget that, and I won't let him.
No, like that's.
It's such a shame he can't read. Imagine how good his career would have been if he could read.
No, that's the thing about Danny Rick is that he's like the ultimate like barometer of like. That's actually like again, I'd much rather that career. I'd much rather like. If you're never going to get the top car, and the other reason I think that Derek would have been able to hang on for at least 1, if not 2 more years after 19, which we already know he would have had, is very simple. None of the Red Bull juniors at the time were really taking a seat, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Because Pierre flopped, Alex flopped, and then they had to go to like a midfield menace who really only got that seat because they basically were begging Albon to do literally anything. And he couldn't. And then Checo has one of the great recovery drives of all time in Secure, whatever you think of the George Russell of it all.
Like, which I'm fully tinfoil hatted on, you know.
I'm aware. But, like, no matter what you think of the George of it all, like whatever you think of the George of it all, like Chuck had an incredible.
Oh yeah, that was an amazing drive.
Like you listen to the way that Arda talked, like at the end of the 2020 season, like they were begging Alex to show us anything to leave you in that seat, and bro just couldn't.
Yeah, I feel for him, and like Checo was like the perfect choice, but it is underratedly crazy how that they like for the first time basically ever had to depart from the driver program. I and also listen, I would take Danny Rick's career over Nico's if it meant that people like do I get the Danny Rick aura? Like do people think I'm cool? Because truly I would trade anything for that. Like that is a currency that you cannot buy. Like as a fellow like lifelong loser, like the harder you try, the worse it is. Like you just have to lean in unfortunately. But if I could get the like Danny Rick like personality and like ease of charming others, I'd take that over pretty much. I you need to get at least 3 world championships before I started considering.
Yeah. I mean, we should not talk about this race, which
Oh yeah.
good. Ferrari masterclass, Mercedes disaster class. What the fuck happened? Like,
yeah,
Ferrari were just right.
I know.
The stock was on, and it was the correct decision. And then, what the fuck was Mercedes doing? Telling George to manage in his first stint, and then fucking what?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden they were like telling him to slow down, and then they were like, "You're not. Wait, no, you're not in the right spot." It's like what? Also, I don't know if you can call it a Ferrari masterclass when Charles's car exploded like 3. That's an harbinger.
Strategic.
Yes, they did. They actually had a good strategy, and it wasn't just someone else fucking up. They actually like actively made the right choice. Slay. That's like the first time that's ever happened, I think. So, exciting times, exciting times. But the reliability of it all. It's like even if you whatever, even if the people who are like, oh, like I saw Lewis fans like laughing about it and celebrating about it. I'm like, girly pop, they're driving the same car. So like I don't know why you're celebrating because we've been down this road before.
Right. So this is like my big thing about this. Like I agreed with a lot of your video yesterday, which is like this is fundamentally a good weekend for Charles because the car doesn't suck.
And his pace was it'd be one thing if his pace had suffered and he like couldn't get himself around the new upgrades. His pace was amazing all weekend. He just fucked up.
Even if his pace was shit, I wouldn't care. You know why?
Because I know
at the end of the day, like unless you think that one bad weekend, which I'm not saying this was, but let's say he had just been 2 tenths off, 2 tenths off, 2 tenths off.
That's way worse than what happened.
I know. I'm saying, like, even in the worst case scenario, which isn't even true, like, okay, Charles will be back. Charles will be back on Lewis's pace next week, probably. What is this week? I know it's a triple header. What is it? Silverstone?
It's Austria.
Oh, okay.
Wait, no, it's a weekend off, isn't it?
No, I thought it was a triple header.
Oh, is it? It's Austria next.
Okay. I love the Red Bull ring. So.
Yeah, same. No, the European stretch is always.
Can I steal one of your lines here?
Yeah.
It's almost like purpose-built tracks are good.
It's almost like street circuits are the devil. They're demonic.
I need them to remove Canada from the street circuits graphics they do.
It is a full purpose-built circuit. They can call it a street track all they want. Are they on the streets? I don't think so. I've been there. It's a fucking park.
I still haven't gone, actually. Like, I haven't even tried to go, like, walk around here or whatever. We could do that sometime. I should drag you up to Montreal and, like...
I'm down. It's probably way nicer. I will say, I did have a little bit of a... I do love how everyone in Montreal is mean to you as a bit. That part is one of my favorite parts about the city. But I will never forget. I'm, like, standing... There must have been 10 phone chargers around this little they have charging stations, which is nice. There must have been 10 phone chargers. Nobody else around. Like, I couldn't see a person, like, everyone's walking by. I go up, I reach my little paw to take one of the phone chargers. This girl, appearing from the clouds, truly, snatches it out of my hand, says something to me in French, and like plugs her phone in. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I just took one of the other chargers and charged my phone. Like, again, I can't emphasize to you enough that there were 10 empty chargers. Like, there was not a single other person around us. And I was like, okay, but now I didn't want to like leave my phone there because I'm like, this crazy bitch is gonna steal it. But I'm like, why? And every interaction you have in Montreal is like that. It's like fucking crazy, but it is. I think they're trying to get you to have a negative reaction, but like, I just find it deeply funny. I also don't know what you're saying. So like, I can't even get mad. I'm just like, okay, plug it in. But I'm like, that bit part of the bit is hilarious. I also tried to bribe a bus driver. They must be paying them well because they got really mad. It was 4:49. My bus pass for the weekend started at 5 o'clock. And I tried to get on the bus and I was like, I just tried to give the bus driver $10. That would work in New York. I'm sorry. It would. And
Would you not have just paid $10?
I didn't know that it said, okay, on the machines, it says weekend pass Friday through Sunday. Sorry that at no place on the machine does it specify that it starts at 5 o'clock. So I was already in there, and then they're like,
No. Like, could you not have just bought a fare for $5?
they got very angry at me. Well, at first they were like, "You need to get off. This doesn't start till 5 o'clock." And I was like, "Oh, can I?" And I just can I give you this $10 in exchange for this ride? I was willing to overpay. Surely a bus fare is not $10. And they were like, then they got even more mad. And they were like, get off now. And so I was like, listen, I'm not gonna argue. So I get off and I sit down in the bus place. And she's like, are you not gonna go buy a bus pass? And I'm like, well, it starts in 10 minutes. Like, why would I have to walk all the way back there and like all the way back to to this bus stop? Like, no, I'm just gonna fucking wait 10 minutes. And she was like, well, you don't have an active pass, so you can't sit in the bus station. Fine. So I get up and I walk like whatever, 100 feet away. And I just wait there. And the lady is watching me like I am a domestic terror threat. Like I was. So at that point, I was like, whatever. Like and so I got on at 5 o'clock. It's not a problem. And then, so I put my suitcase in front of because I'm very short. So I put it in front of my leg. So I'm taking up one passenger's worth. There is a person sitting next to me. I have crossed my legs like on top of my suitcase. I am taking up one seat worth of things. A man on the bus, who by the way does not work for the bus company. This is just a passenger. Starts again yelling at me in French. And I'm just kind of sitting there like this. Cause I don't know. Like, you obviously fucking know that whatever. So I'm just sitting there and and he's yelling and this goes on for like 10 minutes before the lady next to me is like, says something in French. Presumably, she obviously doesn't speak French. Like, I don't know what you think this is going to accomplish. And so they're kind of like arguing in French. Now, again, I'm just sitting there. And he finally in English is like, you're not allowed to have your suitcase with you, like up at your seat. And I'm like, again, this is a random man, but I'm like, they want me to be the rude American and I won't do it. I literally will not do it. And so I'm like, okay, no problem. And I go to put it. This man doesn't even, a bus full of men watches as I struggle, because of course the only thing that's left is like the very top place, and I'm not tall enough to reach it, so I literally have to jump with this thing over my head and like LeBron James it into this thing. Not one man on that bus offers to help. And at this point, I'm like, at first I was annoyed. The bus lady was pissing me off, but now I'm like, this is hilarious. I finally, whatever, I get off, the bus experiment ends, and I go to check into my hotel. And I'm like, hey, I'm here to check in. And the lady's like, well, you better have made a reservation. Did you make a reservation? Whoa. I was, yeah. Why the fuck else would I walk up to the desk and be like, hi, I'm here to check in if I didn't make a reservation? Also, are we leading with this? Oh, but then at that point, I'm like, surely this is like a bit that they all do. Like, obviously, like, this is not, they're not actually mad at me. This is just kind of their vibe. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, I have a reservation. And I take perverse pleasure in being like aggressively pleasant back to them because it makes them more mad.
I mean, yes. But here's the thing. They don't want you to be the rude American. They want you to be the rude Anglo, okay? It's not like they're nicer to me. It's not like they're nicer to me, okay?
They're also mean to the fellow Canadians.
Yes.
I do like that. But to be fair, I had a friend who spoke French and they were not nicer to her.
Like,
She was the wrong French, though. She was France French.
yes, no, well, because here's the thing. Quebecois is not really French. It's, it's like, it's not real language, Civilized people do not speak Quebecois.
Okay, it's good to see that the beef is mutual. I'm joining the war on the side of the Quebecois because I think it's funny that you guys have like an evil subculture.
I mean,
And that they're French. Also, our French subculture is not evil, I'd just like to say.
are you aware of the fact that separatists might win Quebec's election this fall? And there might be another referendum on Quebec leaving?
How the fuck are they gonna leave? They're landlocked.
No. The St. Lawrence Seaway exists.
Okay, I mean, okay. Through America.
No.
Hang on.
No.
I mean,
No, Quebec breaks. Quebec's got like a penis.
oh, I see. Yeah, I guess the border is in a different place than I thought Newfoundland and Labrador went like all the way down on that little. Damn, Quebec is huge.
It was a Newfoundland penis?
Yes, I did.
The penis was Newfing? Wow.
Wow, Quebec is so much bigger than I thought it was now that I'm really looking at the map.
We're not losing Alberta.
Okay, Alberta is the craziest one because, like, now we're just getting a little big for our britches here, people.
They somehow think that the rest of Canada will have to be nicer to them if they're an independent country.
The opposite of that is true. My favorite is Ottawa.
Canada will have to be nice to us because it would be in their because they wouldn't want to take economic damage by being mean to us. Have you ever heard of pettiness?
My favorite is Ontario.
We would break you just to fucking break you, just for fun.
My favorite is Ontario because of all the commercials that they paid for me to see on YouTube. They were like, I do believe that they're a safe and stable partner in these trying times. And I would love to buy your oil, Ontario. I'm assuming that's why they were doing those commercials. But
no, they were doing those commercials because. So, do you remember the mayor of Toronto, the crack mayor of Toronto?
Yes. Again, iconic.
That guy's brother is my premier.
Wait. Was the crack? Wait, is he in existence politically, like pre or post?
Okay, so we're just doing Ford family. Okay, so Daddy Ford was a provincial legislator.
Oh, okay, I see.
Then Crack Boy was a city councilor. Then Crack Boy runs for mayor. Brother takes Crack Boy's
city council seat.
Crack Boy gets found to be doing crack, but then also
wasn't there like prostitutes involved? Like, I'm pretty sure it was bad.
There wasn't prostitutes, but there was an iconic quote. The most iconic quote. And if you get your live access suspended, I'm sorry, but the quote's good enough for it. Okay.
Okay.
So he's like talking shit the week he's wearing a Toronto Argonauts jersey.
Hell yeah,
over,
brother.
like a dress shirt. He's talking shit about the mayor of Hamilton because that's who they're playing in the Grey Cup. And then he just goes, "Oh, and someone said, somebody reported that, I said to Olivia Gondak, I want to eat your pussy. That's not true. I never said that. I've got more than enough to eat at home."
Okay. I think this is my hot take. If you're a good mayor, I don't really care if you're smoking crack. That seems like you're a personal. That seems like, I mean, I don't think you should. Like, it's bad. But I don't really care. Like, that's what you're doing in your personal time. And I get you're not supposed to break the law if you're the mayor. But, like, if you're doing a good job, it's like the president of Finland who got caught doing Molly. I'm like, I'm not going to pretend that I care about that. What you do in your private time is really your business. Like, you're not beating your wife. Come on, that's a win.
Apparently, he's pleasing his wife quite handily.
Exactly. And
So,
if you're not,
Oscar's mayor for all the crack reasons.
okay, well then,
No, it gets crazier. Okay.
oh god.
So then the next mayoral election comes around, which is a three-way fight between Crack Boy, more annoying Canadian Mike Bloomberg.
How could one possibly be more annoying than Michael Bloomberg?
John Tory comes to mind. And then we get the third candidate, the federal MP and wife of the guy who used to lead the NDP before he died of cancer.
Okay.
Olivia Chow. Then Crack Boy gets cancer. The brother comes in to the mayor's race. Crack Boy runs for council again. Wins his council seat. Dies. More obnoxious Mike Bloomberg wins.
Okay.
The brother's unemployed. The kid, or the Crack Boy dies. One of their like sister's kids gets the council seat.
Okay.
Is outed as having fucked allegedly having fucked a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old while they were working for him. He's forced to resign. Then the brother runs for...
Honestly, Slay, that would literally never fucking happen here. We would just keep it pushing. But, so good for them.
So they run like a 6-week-long leadership race. 3 months before a general election. The wife of the former finance minister who had run for the leader twice before and is just losing in increasingly crazy ways beats Crack Boy's brother on votes, but loses the dumb form of an electoral college that the Conservatives lose, which makes Crack Boy's brother mayor, or premier, equivalent of governor.
Okay.
Then, at the next election, bro is like, yeah, remember my fail son? Remember my dumbass nephew? Yeah, we're going to run him. Not in the seat that he's the counselor for, because that's my seat. We're going to carpetbag him 2 neighborhoods over and make him minister for fucking multiculturalism. As Doug Ford is fucking his infrastructure minister, who is in the seat next door to him.
We kind of love that he's fucking the infrastructure minister. That is it a man or a woman? That's less fun, but still. And you know what? An adult woman. You just gotta clap it up for him actually fucking an adult woman. We're very, very proud.
And then he decides to pay for his daughter's wedding, he decides to have a cash stag and doe where all of the developers who want to buy environmentally protected land
No,
to the daughter,
not money laundering via your daughter's wedding.
and then they buy this greenbelt land for like literally pennies on the dollar.
Nice, classy.
And then there's a massive scandal. His polls collapse. He's like, "Oh, damn, probably shouldn't have done that." Apologizes. Polls instantly shoot back. Ray's like, "Oh, Trump? Trump has created this window for me to get an early election in. Hype. Calls an election early. Beats. Runs all these ads. Has blatantly abused government spending powers.
You think?
Every third episode, or every third ad on the P1 with Matt and Tommy, for like legitimately the entire election campaign, was a Government of Ontario ad talking about how great the government is doing at protecting us from Trump.
So what you're saying is I shouldn't be Team Ontario. Rats.
Oh, I guess no. And then here's the thing. So remember how we had to coup the leader of the Liberal Party because she couldn't even win her own seat?
Yes.
Yeah. The establishment of the Liberal Party just rigged the primary in a seat against my boy because they don't like him because he will fire everybody. And they rigged it so blatantly that there were 34 more votes cast than there were ballots.
Good. That's good. That seems like things.
Guess what the margin of victory was?
34?
19.
Okay, at least they gave it a little, because I was gonna say, if you do right on the number, like that's rookie shit. Like you gotta at least go over a little bit. You know what I mean?
So there were 34 more votes than voters, and 19 was the margin.
Are you guys gonna sue? Obviously.
Oh, we already tried that. We lost because you can't actually sue. You just have to appeal, and the party heard the appeal and went no.
Oh, because it's a party thing. This isn't like a real election. Okay.
Yeah, because we don't run this shit. We don't run the state. It's we don't. You know how the Virginia Republicans just they keep doing conventions because otherwise like crazy people will win their primaries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we do. We basically do that, except we rig it for useless non-entities who who posted on Facebook links to incest rape porn.
Facebook? I know that's the least of the problems, but like of all the places, of all the places in the world to be posting that, Facebook, where my grandmother was, like, again, like, never okay. But if you said Twitter, I'd be like, that tracks with like with Twitter. You know what I mean? Like I can see how that occurred. Facebook has got to be the craziest place to post that. No? Like Facebook is so
I do love how that's the part of this.
a politician is into rape? Stunning.
And one of the candidate's lead advisors is a convicted sex offender who was a teacher who fucked a 12-year-old.
How are they out? Like, how are they not behind bars? What?
6 months in jail.
6 months?
Yep.
Brother, this is my most unwoke take is that we got to be putting more people in jail, not less, just for different things. Like for real, let all the drug dealers out, but like we should put more people in jail. I think on the balance, you know what I mean? Also, when you add in I do believe that we should put people in prison for like white collar crimes because for a long time, because it's the only thing rich people are afraid of. But that's beside the point. 6 months. Okay, but so this is the leader of the Liberal Party?
No, just the candidate who they had to fuck Nate out of winning the nomination for. No, the leader of the party is going to be probably going to be a failed cabinet minister who then took a cushy job working for the Canadian equivalent of AT&T.
Shut up, Peter Mandelson.
No, it would be as if. No, it would be as if. It would be as if, like, Richard Branson's number 2 worked for Tony Blair for, like, 2 years and then was like, you know, why don't you just come back to politics for no good reason?
Yeah.
No, not a big fan of Ontario these days.
That's crazy. First of all, like, the Facebook of it all is really must be discussed. Remember when Ted Cruz liked that porn of his that looked exactly like his wife? Just made me think of that.
Remember he did that on 9/11?
Yeah. Hashtag never forget. That is so. Media Mirror also said, to be fair, it did end Matt Gaetz. We must take a moment to remember how funny it was when Matt Gaetz is like, the Justice Department is blackmailing me. And I'm like, I don't think you understand that you just admitted that, like, what that you did is true. Like,
well, also, can we talk about the fact that he was being far too honest with his Venmo transaction, like, captions?
the ones that are like snowflake emojis, I'm like, girl, we gotta be getting a little bit more high tech, high secrecy than the fucking snowflake emoji for cocaine. Like,
I mean, it's not quite as funny as the guy who had the Canadian MP who had his cousin, whose cousin ran a car dealership and had the cousin funnel profits from the car dealership into his re-election campaign by giving everybody a bonus on the same day, exactly equal to the maximum legal donation limit that they all had to donate.
the same guys, stagger. Put on a fake fundraiser. Do something. And
it's like, you gotta make the bonus big. You gotta make the bonus bigger than the thing, because you gotta have the people
lie for you. Yeah, you gotta give them a little, cut them in on this deal somehow. Like,
no, this is my one thing. Insider trading and campaign finance violations, should not be illegal. They should just be. They should only be enforced in like the lightest way possible, which means you have to be completely insane to. Like,
no, you have to be that is how it is right now. It's like, if you have to be so dumb to get caught that I'm like, throw the book at them. Like, you shouldn't be here if you're dumb enough to get caught. Shout out Peter Mandelson doing insider trading via email. Like, what is the one rule of insider trading? Don't write it down. Don't put it in writing. It's actually the only thing you have to do to not get caught.
Remember more obnoxious Mike Bloomberg?
Yes.
Okay. So his history was after the Ontario Conservatives lost the 2003 election, he became their leader. He won a seat he won his way into Parliament in a safe seat by election, then decided to run back. He lost the 2003 Toronto mayor's election, then ran for leader for the Conservatives, then decided to give up his safe seat to run in a competitive seat against the woman who ends up being the first lesbian premier of Ontario.
Why?
Loses that seat, gets another one of his MPs to resign for him, to let him run, loses that safe seat in a by-election, resigns as leader.
You think? Wait. He was. You can. How can you be leader if you're not? He hasn't been in parliament this whole time.
For a couple of years there in the middle.
Well, right. I meant like, why did that part of the story come like 4 years after the he lost his seat part of the story?
Because it's very dumb. So then he becomes like Canadian Rush Limbaugh.
Oh, great.
Not sort of ideologically, but just like in terms of like most important.
Well, it's not like Rush Limbaugh's vibes are great either. Like, even if he believed in what I believed in, like, I would still be like, damn, what a unpleasant man.
We'll get there. We'll get there to the unpleasantness of the obnoxious Canadian Michael Bloomberg existence.
I just, to be more obnoxious than Michael Bloomberg is like a state of being that I couldn't even possibly have imagined was a thing.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not more obnoxious than Michael Bloomberg. Maybe it's as obnoxious as Mike Bloomberg.
It's true. We might be maxed out on obnoxious.
Except for the fact that Mike Bloomberg was actually a good mayor, and John Tory was a fucking piece of shit mayor. So then he runs for mayor against Crack Boy and the dead guy's widow.
Okay.
Wins that three-way race. Spends the next 8 years doing fucking nothing. Wins re-election.
The term is 8 years. Damn.
No, 4 years.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Wins re-election twice. Wins re-election again. 2 months later, basically, turns out Bro is like 70 years old at this point. Bro was fucking a 30-year-old staffer of his.
Yeah, not great.
Has to resign. And then the widow wins the race to replace him. And then they were like, "Oh, maybe we should bring back John Tory." But they were like, "Well, they're Canadian Mike Bloomberg." And then he's like, "No, I think that would be a mistake. AKA, my wife is going to leave me if I run again." And now
That's her. That's where she draws the line.
yes.
I can think about. I mean, at that point, who gives a shit?
And so now the mayor's race is turning into the widow versus. Well, so for a moment it looked like it was going to be the widow versus. Remember the failed nephew minister of citizenship and immigration?
Yeah. Multiculturalism.
Yeah, whatever. He only did one term in provincial parliament. Then Doug and his pollster were like, you should like run for mayor, bro. Mostly because we don't like the widow anymore because she's annoying. And then he was like, no. And so now we're running one of the weirdest people, a guy whose name is genuinely Bradford.
Like his parents named him that.
Yes.
I don't think that should be allowed. Like, right? Like, that's weird. I don't think that. I think that gives a sinister energy. I don't.
So Bradford's mother used to be a Liberal MP from Waterloo, Kitchener.
You guys are like very spiritually English in this way. Like, I feel like there aren't that many dynasty. Why is everyone in this story's parent also in Parliament? Like,
well, John Tory's parents weren't in Parliament. No, they just founded like the somewhere between the second and fifth most prestigious law firm in Canada.
Well, that's all. So you can't class mobility is what I'm hearing.
I mean, in the sense that you can go from being the family that literally founded one of the seven sisters.
Yeah, but they'll let you into but they don't let you into the aristocracy in England. Like, they still don't fuck with you even if you're rich. So, and I say that dub for Canada. Like, you can't be like, if you try to be a Tory, even if your parents are rich, if you aren't, like, at least third cousins with someone else there, they shoot you. And they don't even have guns, they just, like, get one somewhere. Like, it's do you know the king is exempt from criminal prosecution?
Yes.
Is no and everyone's just cool with this.
Know this?
No! What the fuck? I assume civil, because, like, duh. But
No, the king could shoot somebody and it would be fine.
he could drag Kate Middleton out by her hair and decapitate her in front of Buckingham Palace, and it would be totally chill.
Well, I mean, he would probably get, like...
Get what? They can't do anything to him!
No, there would just be, like, a Cromwell on his ass fairly soon. You know, we'd get some, we'd get some, we'd get a nice little English Civil War on the go, but, like...
Would they though? Because they're all so royalty like, they're serious. I guess that's what I didn't realize when I only interacted with normal British people who never talk about the royal family. But, like, I've had to interact with, like, a couple posh ones for work in the last few years, and then also just, like, I've been exposed to more of them via, like, consuming a little bit more UK politics. They're serious. Like, they when they were like, "We're gonna take Peter Mandelson's Lord title away," like, what are we talking about? That's fake! That's not real!
Remember when they cut in to Friday March Madness for a Kate Middleton pre-recorded video?
Brother! Yes.
Y'all had a fucking revolution to stop that.
I did too. Although I will say, very proud of Team America because and France during that whole Kate Middleton saga.
We were the ones holding the line.
They were when all of them were just like publishing the press.
And
Reuters. And Reuters.
There's AP and the Agence France.
Yo, we're like,
no, fuck that
this
shit.
is
That shit's photo op.
very not just fake, like really obviously fake. Like I don't know. And then like the royal family, they published like AP did a story like on the back and forth kind of, and they were like, they didn't even like, they were just like, we're not going to publish this initially and they like sent it back to the royal family like, this is fake, and the royal family was like, no, it's real, publish it. And so they published it and were like, here's this fake ass photo the royal family gave us. And like they published disclaimers because they're like, and then the royal family like flipped out on them and they're like, I don't know what you think is happening here, but like we're an actual news organization. And it was so crazy. Remember, like she was missing for like 2 weeks. It was literally a joke. And then they freak out, whatever. And then the next day, in two separate UK like big newspapers, the Telegraph and the Daily Mirror, both published like 12,000 word puff pieces on his mistress, who's just a random lady. Like, it's not like, okay, maybe if she was like a cabinet minister or something and they're just like, there's no pretext for why we would be writing about this woman other than that she's fucking Prince William. Like, that's her whole shtick. She does nothing else. She has no job. Like, there's no other reason that this woman would come up. But all of a sudden, we have 12,000 word profiles on the Marquess of Chelmsley. And then we all got to make.
So the crazier thing, so the thing is, they didn't publish those that week. They just recirculated the old profiles they wrote.
Well,
actually was cheating on her.
Yeah.
When that happened originally, they're just like, you know what we need to bring, you know what we need to, send her on social media again.
It's because I think she genuinely went rogue, in my opinion, because they're like, oh, I'm not denying that she was ill or had cancer or anything. Like, I wish her nothing but the best in that regard. But you're telling me that the same group of people who hours after these women give birth, force them to put on a dress, high heels, a full face of makeup, do their hair, and walk out to show their baby that they just pushed out of their vagina hours ago. Major medical surgery event, by the way. To show it to the world, couldn't get one picture of this chick for 6 months.
Well, do you know? Wait, I don't actually know if you know this.
That he's beating her, and that's why. What?
No, it's because she wasn't in court. She was getting all her cancer treatment in Houston.
Oh. Okay. Well, again, they could have. I still feel like they could have come up with a picture of her. Like, it's sort of crazy.
But the thing is, they didn't want to admit that she went to Houston because her chance of surviving and thriving were
Lower.
a jillion times better in an American hospital than in
duh. Yeah, when Russian oligarchs get sick, they're not going to fucking Nottingham, are they? Like, they're going to Cleveland, Ohio, and you're not going to Cleveland, Ohio for the love of the game. It sucks there. It's almost like...
Because the crazy thing is, there's some, I don't remember her name, she's quite good. There's like a royalologist on TikTok. Matter of fact, I believe is her name. Or something.
But just say, that was the craziest thing to me, is like, just say nothing. If they had just said nothing, this internet meme would have gone away in 2 days and it would have been whatever. And then they could have announced she was ill when they wanted to, right? So like,
the thing that was crazy was, remember, Charles also had cancer at the same time.
Yeah.
And we got like a couple updates on Charles, a couple of photos occasionally,
Yeah. And he looked awful.
But like, no one really cared about Charles because they like weren't being extremely weird about it.
Right. They like freaked out. And like, again, that picture was so weird. And like,
I just don't understand.
Use a picture you haven't posted, but surely there's pictures that the press people for the royal family have of them that they haven't posted before.
Of course. Like sure, there was nothing in a...
You can't ask William for something in his camera roll? Like, is there... Like, they have iPhones? Like, this is...
Just because it was just a Mother's Day post. That was what caused this whole fucking thing. It was just like a Mother's Day post.
Or if they just posted an old photo and didn't Photoshop it.
Like, but they wanted people to think that she was like totally fine. And that it was a new photo. When no one would have fucking cared if it was an old photo, because everyone would have put it.
And they kept putting out these like weird statements about it. Like, it was like, I'm like, just that's what made it weird, was like them.
When she posted on her IG story that she's an amateur photographer.
Yes, and that was their explanation. But she was like, "Sorry, I got a little crazy with the Photoshop." I'm like, you want me to believe that Princess Catherine Middleton of Wales was like sat there and pays 30 pounds a month to Adobe, and she's on her MacBook firing up the Creative Cloud. I just don't believe that. Like, I'm sorry, I do not believe that Kate Middleton is paying $28 or whatever it is to Adobe per month.
Do we think Adobe would give the royals free, like...
No, I think they're so evil that they would never. And also, why should you give Princess Kate? She can afford it. Give me free Creative Cloud.
Yeah, but then why doesn't Jim Dolan, make Ben Stiller pay for his, Knicks tickets?
Well, no, that makes sense because it's like free advertising for them, but it's not like she's a great advertisement for what Photoshop can do. You know what I mean?
Okay. This is supposed to be an F1 Live, which really just turned into me trauma dumping Ontario politics at you.
No, listen, I loved the tale. That was sometimes it's nice to hear about like that shit's fucked up in other places too, because I'm like. Can I
do Ottawa politics corner?
Sure.
So the in the 90s, all of like Ontario's cities were like amalgamated, were amalgamated, and so a bunch of shit that like technically where I am currently standing was not in the city of Canada when I was born, but it's now it's not in the city of Ottawa now, but it used to, but it wasn't. It is now, but it wasn't then. And so we have created this like horrible city whereby it's like it's the suburbs versus the actual city in terms of voting power. So here are the mayors of the new city of Ottawa, the bigger city of Ottawa. Corrupt inner suburbanite who lost his run for mayor in 2006 in by coming in third in a three-way race because he corruptly only built public transit in the part of the city that benefited his people.
Yep.
And came in third in every ward except for the one that got the train, where he came in second.
He didn't even win the people he bribed? Come on.
Lost to a suburban conservative who spent 3.5 years on trial for bribing one of the other candidates out of the race.
Hell yeah, brother.
Then got replaced by a useless non-entity who spent 12 years building public transport so shittily that he built an LRT that can't run in the snow.
Well, that's fine because it's not like it snows a lot in Canada.
Because he bought French trains instead of buying Canadian trains. The LRT was supposed to be done. Phase 2 of the LRT was supposed to be done in 2021.
Only 5 years behind schedule.
Yeah.
That fucking kills me.
He spent 3 years.
Doesn't work in the snow is so crazy.
So he spent 3 years in office. The only reason he won his third term in office was because the guy who was very obviously going to kick his ass, former federal MP for Ottawa Centre and son of arguably Ottawa's greatest mayor, Paul Dewar, got brain cancer right before he could run for mayor.
Oh.
Which gave Jim Watson a free run at a third term. He fucked up his third term. Everybody hated him. His big way of trying to stop people being mean to him about the fact that he sucks monkey ass was to finally come out of the closet, despite the fact that we've known he was gay for a while.
Wait, why do I kind of love that move, though? That he had a card up his sleeve and he waited to play it.
What the crazy part is, so he was a provincial politician before. So he was mayor of the old city of Ottawa, then became a provincial politician, then came back and was mayor of the new city of Ottawa. Remember Corrupterson, who lost to the guy who bribed the guy?
Yes.
He, Corrupterson, took Faggy McFaggerson's provincial seat.
I'm not laughing at that, sorry.
Yes, you are, and it's funny, and I am giving you the pass.
to laugh.
Yes, I'm giving you the pass. It gets even better. So then we have another election between a non-binary.
Oh, he got Uno reverse carded.
So what's his face doesn't run for re-election for a fourth term because he was going to lose. It's a non-binary community advocate counselor who is fantastic, who is now in provincial politics, thankfully.
Okay, that's good.
Versus a newspaper columnist and radio host.
Oh, great.
He wins. He then spends the next 3 years doing nothing about the transit disaster, doing nothing about the city, doing nothing about crime, homelessness, anything. No, you know what his two big crusades are? What? Stopping because Ottawa's the capital, we have two entities. We have the City of Ottawa, but we also have what's referred to as the National Capital Commission, and some parts of the city are National Capital Commission land.
Yeah.
So his two priorities as mayor have been to complain about the NCC pedestrianizing a street during the summer.
Okay.
And then making the second hockey arena in Ottawa smaller.
These seem like high level, very critical issues.
Except the thing is that he lied and told the PWHL that when they rebuilt the second hockey arena, because there's the suburban one where the Sens play, and then there's one downtown that's smaller where the major junior team plays.
Yeah.
The women's team now. And he said, yeah, no, it was the same capacity. And then turns out, no, it will not be the same capacity because we're making it smaller for no good reason. Well, there is a reason. It's called the city is being cheap because they own the land with the stadium and then the football field in Ottawa, but they refuse to sell the land to the people who own the teams.
Yeah. Why? Because you're theoretically missing out on a lot of property taxes by owning it yourself, unless they're leasing it.
They're leasing it for like pennies on the dollar.
Okay.
But the thing is, they want the asset value, but they want the renters. They want the renters to pay for the rent outs.
That's not how owning property works, my friend.
I guess. So, and so now we have a mayoral election at the end of the year where the fate of the women's hockey team is like one of the big issues, except for the fact that this is all playing a blinder for the guy who owns the Sens, because he's trying to build a new stadium downtown.
I see.
Because we need to get, look, I say this as somebody who literally can see the Sens Arena from my house right now. Like, as I'm talking to you, I can see the ring. The ring should not be in my suburban end of the city. It should be downtown.
Yeah.
And there's a plot of land, and everyone knows where it's going, and we're building it. But it's so funny because this is all just playing right into the hands of the guy who just bought the Sens a few years
Oh
back.
yeah, because he's gonna get to be like the hero.
Yeah.
That's funny.
We played all our playoff games. We played all our playoff games at the suburban arena. He wants to buy the team when the women's teams like finally become the franchise.
Yeah.
Like when we finally sell the franchises, he very obviously wants to buy the team.
Good. No, I think that's good. Like incorporate it in. Like that's. No, I'm pro it. I'm becoming a Boston Fleet fan. I'm gonna watch next season.
And this is and the crazy thing about it is, like, I don't think Andlauer has a press problem, but like you've just given this new owner that people are like a little shaky on, you know?
Yeah.
We love him because he's better than the old guy. But like, a little shaky on him, And now he gets to save the women's team. Sutcliffe is maybe gonna, probably hopefully lose. But like, and then my local counselor, in 2011. So my counselor was elected for the first time in 2010. In 2011, there was this like big national tragedy when this gay kid, figure skater, young kid, killed himself.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was national. It was a national story. Guy went to the local high school. Like, guy went to the other high school in my neighborhood.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were about to say your counselor went there, and I was like, oh god, what'd he do?
It was the counselor's kid.
Oh my god.
Who did nothing about the fact that his son was basically begging him for help.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what was that situation like? Were you?
He was too busy being a counselor to do anything about the fact that his kid was being relentlessly attacked for being gay. As a figure skater. And this motherfucker keeps winning, and I want to lose my fucking mind.
That seems like
suboptimal.
Yeah.
Not fun. Gonna be real, not fun having a counselor. It's fucking terrible.
Was he like against? Is he anti-gay?
So publicly, is a strong ally of the community.
Okay, well that's something.
I know people who are actually friends with this kid, and
they were like, he was not down to clown.
He was not a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah, really fun. Love this province. Fuck this province.
Oh, and it just seems like, I will say, during the whole time I was getting all of the YouTube ads, I was like, surely there's something better that the province could be spending this money on. You know what I mean?
How much money we spent on those ads?
How much?
100 million.
100 million.
Plus 75 million later that year on the ads that led to the end of trade talks that ran during the World Series.
Well, we didn't invade Canada, so there's that.
I mean, not yet.
Not yet. There's still time. There's still time.
Have you? Apparently, we're just not doing F1. This is just
Wait.
catch up time.
Hang on, I do have to. Minor bathroom break. Okay. That's true. We did a solid 20 minutes of Nico Rosberg. Okay.
Oh, I can take. If anyone has any questions, I can take them. While she is MIA. Oh. I mean, does Ontario have an LRT problem, or does Ontario just have problems? I feel like that's missing. I feel like the qualifier on we have LRT problems is slightly missing the slightly missing this. Like, I feel like that's like a tad redundant with the whole like we just have problems in general, you know. Ooh. I just turned on the World Cup game. I did not realize that it already started. Uruguay, Saudi, nice, fun. Oh, Sonia, if you don't want to dox yourself too much, where in my great province are you from? Oh, hurry up, Siege. I need to complain about things. Oh God, the bridge. CJ, are you up on the bridge in Detroit?
Wait, what bridge?
You're not up on the bridge?
What bridge?
The Detroit-Windsor Bridge. You're not up on the drama about this?
No. Oh, it's the one, the bridge to Canada.
Yes. So there's one bridge. The bridge is terrible.
But we can't agree on. Oh, Donald Trump basically dicked everyone over and is like forcing Canada to do it now.
No. This is a long-standing pre-Donald Trump problem. The people who own the bridge basically bribed the fuck out of every Michigan politician to not build a new bridge. And so Canada's like, fuck it, we'll just build the bridge and keep all the toll money. And now it's unclear whether or not Trump is going to allow the bridge to open because he's being it's like a family who know that everyone will use the other bridge if the Gordie Howe Bridge opens. Very, very funny. I did have one, CJ, how British politics, or because your TikTok is now all British politics, have you seen, has the Scotland World Cup song broken in to your timeline yet?
No, not really.
Why did I just like straight up cry when I got a Scotland World Cup edit today? I just like legit like broke when I saw.
Oh, is it positive? I thought that they had come up with like a. I was worried about the contents of the song. I was like, oh no, what did they do?
No, it's because they're all in because they're in Boston, right?
Yeah, which is again Gordon Brown in Boston.
Well, that's why I thought you might have seen it. I'll have to send that to you.
I am rooting for Scotland now that I know that he's rooting for Scotland. I'm like, okay, I gotta get behind this a little bit.
Who do you think Tony Blair cheers for?
I think he's probably a sportser for poors type. He went to one of those schools, you know.
Well, you know that Alistair Campbell. Were you the one who sent me the tweet about how Alistair Campbell blocked cabinet ministers from going to France in '98 for the World Cup?
Yes. No. I don't think I was.
Someone replied to Gordon Brown being like, "Oh, so now you're allowed to go to the World Cup, unlike in '98 when
I will say in his
evil Mr. Campbell didn't let you."
well, because he probably was using it to like stir dissent. Because I remember the beginning of Gordon Brown's one of his many biographies I've read, is like him. It's like him at a soccer game, and it's like about how like bro laddie he is, and they're kind of like the implication is very much that he's like putting this on to try to like separate himself from Tony Blair because he's like not Gordon Brown, the biographer is like, as we know, Tony Blair's gay as hell. He doesn't say it like that, but that's like kind of the implication. And he is very much a like sports are for poors genre of man. And he's like,
Blair is Scottish, but was
yeah,
repped an English constituency. Gordon, kept.
They're both from, yeah.
But Gordon repped a Scottish constituency.
But also, Tony Blair was born in Scotland, but they moved to Australia like pretty quick after that. And then when they moved back to London. So he didn't really like live there. Like Gordon Brown like went to high school there and then like went to the University of Edinburgh and like is like more from Scotland, if that makes sense.
But they still call Tony but they still call Gordon and Tony the Scottish Mafia.
Yeah. Well, and Alistair Campbell's also from Scotland, which is crazy. And so's his little Lord Byron twink. Like they are the mafia. It's crazy that he managed to find 2 Lord Byron variants to like lure into to being his like eternal. It is a little bit of a different dynamic with Tony Blair, but they are both like openly obsessed with him.
Is there anything funnier than the concept of what the fuck's the rest is politics?
Yes.
Just like,
where did he get this man? Like, how did they meet each other? Like, that's what I want to know. And I looked it up, and it's like they just like started doing this podcast together. But I'm like, I feel like it's crazy to do, especially if you're Alistair Campbell. Like, you had to know that this was going to be like one of the biggest like he could have gone and done like cable news. You know what I mean? To just pick like a random guy. Not the I obviously Rory Stewart was in Parliament. He's not like a random person, but like I feel like I would have picked someone a little bit more big time if I was Alistair Campbell. You know what I mean? But maybe he didn't want like it's probably hard he needed someone on like the center right. Like there's no way he could have tolerated doing it with someone who was like truly, truly a conservative. Oh, sorry, you're back. My phone was ringing. Sorry, I'm muted.
That's why you're muted. Okay.
Oh, but what I was just saying, like, there's no way, like, surely, like, he could have been on the BBC, and I'm like, it's kind of like Rory Stewart's such a random. Yeah, that's true. Well, no, you get to keep all the money. No, and I get wanting to do it yourself because he also is like the BBC is going to tell you like what you can and can't say. Like, obviously, it's like a lot more limiting. And if you're Alistair Campbell, you're like, well, I can do it myself. I have the resources to do it myself. I have the connections to like the reason you want to be associated with the mainstream media is because people will like give you interviews. But if you're Alistair Campbell, people are going to give you interviews. So like it doesn't matter. But my thing is like, why not pick like yeah, but he lost to Boris Johnson. So okay, but like Obama does a podcast with Jeb Bush. You know what I mean? Like that wouldn't like he should do it with like but I mean, I think it's the perfect
what happened is what happened is that Alistair was every conservative's favorite labor, right?
Because he's conservative coded.
He's conservative coded and he hated Jeremy Corbyn.
Yeah.
And Rory Stewart was every labor-right's favorite conservative.
Because he's liberal coded, and by that I mean
and I think they had done they'd been on a few TV panels before, but like Roy Stewart was just like unemployed and not really sure what he was doing because he didn't stand again in 2019.
No, I think he.
Because no, but my favorite thing about Alistair is, and this sounds like an insult, but I mean it completely as a compliment. He is one of the only people, and this sounds like an insult, but I mean it completely as a compliment. He is one of the only people in that fucking country who thinks about politics as if people who are supposed to be good at politics are the ones performing the politics.
Yeah.
Like, the problem with, like, 98% of British politics is that these are incredibly stupid people who think they're incredibly clever. And Alistair is one of the... is probably the only person on that island.
Oh, no. I lost you.
Alistair is one of the only people on that island who is more clever than he thinks he is.
Well, yes. And it's like reading his diaries, I'm like, it's so painfully clear to me that you are the only person in this situation who has ever been to therapy. Like, that is just wildly obvious through all of these interactions. And also he is self-aware, not only of himself, but of like the Labor Party and like Tony and potentially the least self-aware person on the planet Earth. Like him coming out and being like, well, I would have helped Trump bomb Iran. Like, yeah, girl, we know.
Like there's a like feels like every time I see a clip of the Russian politics, it's just Oscar being like, I don't see the plan, I don't see the vision, I don't really understand what we're doing here. Back in my day, we used to plan this stuff meticulously. Like,
well, yeah, the Labor government, right? And
that is the critique of Starmer, of Boris's government, of Sunak's government, of Keir in opposition, and now Keir in government.
Yeah, there's no like big picture vision for what we want to do. They're kind of just.
I make this joke a lot to people, but like, I do genuinely think that like that the average person working on like, I don't know, a fucking city council race in Orange County could fly to Britain right now, being made like head of honcho to Keir Starmer, and could have Starmer polling at 40% tomorrow. Because like the quality of British politics is so unimpressive right now. You could take not
well, the way they handled the Mandelson thing has just been completely.
Molina, the human being, put him there, and just things that he vaguely learned by doing the West Wing would make him better than any of these people.
It's crazy how they handled this. The Mandelson thing is like the craziest thing in the world to me. First of all, I get appointing him in the first place because here's what you just. The answer is to immediately throw him under the bus. And the fact that they didn't do that is the fact that it took Gordon Brown to come out and do that, who emerged from hibernation. He's 150 years old. And he's like, actually, like, Peter Mandelson should be in prison. And I asked about this in September, and they lied to me about it. The fact that they didn't immediately throw him under the bus is so crazy to me, especially Keir Starmer. What? Tony Blair, I get it, because Peter Mandelson clearly throw him under the bus is so crazy to me, especially Keir Starmer. What? Tony Blair, I get it, because Peter Mandelson clearly knew where the bodies were buried. You know what I mean? He had dirt on Tony Blair, and we all know what it was, and we all know why he had to send him to be like EU commissioner or whatever instead of just firing him.
Although Gordon's hands aren't exactly clean, given that he made him fucking first secretary.
No, because he had the same information on Gordon Brown. But I believe that at the time, well, they knew that he was a fucking problem and actively undermining somehow both of them at the same time. I don't think they knew he was like I don't think Peter Mandelson was advertising that he was like vacationing on Pedophile Island. You know what I mean? But so like and they both had a lot going. Like they were the prime minister. Like you're not keeping track of where Peter Mandelson is like bopping off to on a Friday night, you know? But when presented with the opportunity to do the right thing, one of them took it and the other was like, I actually think we should bomb Iran. Because that's what we're talking about right now.
I mean, Blair is just
that essay, which the worst part is he's like mostly correct.
1,000 words wrong. It's like 4,000 words longer than it should be.
He's mostly correct, but he's at the same time doing the same thing he's accusing them of, which is making like generic statements and trying to pass it off as policy. The only specific policies he advocates for are, again, like being nice to Trump, and which, like, he is, again, unfortunately, he is like absolutely correct in terms of like, because he says in the piece, he's like, it's unrealistic to say that we're gonna like that the solution to this is being like separated from the US on defense, because we spend $150 billion a year on a satellite program that enables all of the defense shit to happen. And there's one alternative a supplier on that one, and it's China. And if you think they're going to let you use your satellites for free, by the way, we don't charge anybody to use these, you're out of your fucking mind. So like, he is use these, you're out of your fucking mind. So like, he is correct, but he articulates it so badly, and he's so like non-specific, because he's like, but then like it weirdly comes across like he's praising Trump. The whole thing is so long, he repeats, he like has paragraphs where he just like repeats himself. It's so all over the place and disorganized, way too long. And also every other paragraph is just like deep throating Peter Thiel for no, and Larry Ellison for like no.
Do not say for no reason. Do not say for no reason.
Well, yeah, they're paying him. That's the reason, obviously.
Yeah. What? You hate capitalism now?
I want to know, you know what, I'm dying. If I could ask Alistair Campbell one question, or Tony Blair, but I really want to hear it from Alistair Campbell, because I think Tony Blair is so far gone that like he doesn't even, he lives in a plane that the rest of us can't even access. Alistair Campbell is like a little bit like, I believe that he believes the things he says he does, but I just think that he's like so he is specifically delusional about Tony Blair, and it's because he's in love with him. So I get it. But I want to be like, when Tony Blair is advising the dictator of fucking Azerbaijan or MBS and all these people that he's getting paid millions of pounds to advise, genuinely, I'm not even saying this to be snarky, like, what do they talk about? Like, what could Tony Blair, because he's a lawyer, and these are not countries that use the English common law system. So it's obviously not like legal and justice policy. I would also argue that a lot of them don't really have justice systems, but even if they do, they're certainly not based on English common law, which is, you know, the law that he has a degree in. They don't have to run for office, so it's not like he can be like some kind of like political
advisor. Yeah.
So what subject matter?
Are they getting into the nitty-gritty of how to build an NHS?
Right. Like, but he's not an expert. Like, Tony Blair's never like worked in healthcare. He's never even been like a health minister. He was like allegedly an economic minister for like a hot second, and then he became leader. Like,
no, he was shadow in government. Tony Blair never served in government until
well, Labor wasn't in government for like 900 years, to be fair.
Yeah, but like he was an 83 MB. Like he was a class of 83.
Yeah. He just, it's so funny because I'm like, what is that conversation? To be a fly on the wall, I would literally kill for it, because I'm like, what do Aliyev and Tony Blair like talk about? Because they're supposed to be, presumably they sit down for like at least some formal meeting to put on the show about it. They have to talk about, there has to be a subject for that meeting. Like, and I'm just picturing like a Veep style scenario where he's like talking to MBS and he's like, oh, like I got this guy that like handles the press. Like you got to get the guy that like handles all the press for you. It'll be totally good. And MBS is like, oh, you're a genius. And like brings in a guy to start like whacking journalists and stuff. And Tony Blair's like, oh my God. But like real talk, I'm like, every time I hear he's like, oh, he's an advisor to like the King of Jordan, I'm like, what is he advising?
Is it just how to psych up to the Americans?
How to get your wife to be chill with you having a lot of affairs.
think when you're the king of Jordan, I think it kind of like do it and they won't get over it.
Yeah. He's probably like, oh my god, it's so lit that women don't have rights. How to source lesbian yoga teachers for your wife? I'd pay him for that service.
This does remind me of the fact that I found out when I was in Toronto that for some reason, German Leon Draisaitl, who has not been required to be in Canada for his job as a hockey player for at least 6 weeks now, is still in Canada and is not, to be clear, Brown was in Toronto or Toronto adjacent places because he was playing golf with McDavid, and McDavid was at the game in Toronto on Friday. Which leads me to the most important question of why would you just randomly be in a country you don't need to be in for work when you are not a citizen of that country in a province that you don't own property in, unless, and both the wives were there too, by the way.
Oh, I love them.
Like, it's so funny to me how, like, every off...
Yeah, the polycule moves as a unit, bro.
It's the funniest thing, because every off-season they like, post their shit together for no real reason.
Because they're posting with their girlfriend.
But it's just like, it's so funny. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean Leon's just in Toronto? What?
Me reading Tony Blair's book where he has a soliloquy about like the Saturday morning sunlight streaming through Gordon Brown's apartment window. Like, hey, I have an additional question. What are you doing in Toronto? Where is that where Dreisel or whatever is from? No, the other one, McDavid.
Yeah, he's from Toronto and has like a summer cottage up in like cottage country, like an hour sort of northeast of Toronto.
Nice. So they're fucking in the cabin. Wait, beautiful. I love it. So heated rivalry core.
It's so funny because it's just like, there's literally no like need for him to be there.
Where's his wife from? Which one's his wife again?
She's a French actress, I think. I don't really know. I don't know anything. I just know that the women are fucking. They're definitely fucking. They're more married than the men are, and the men are very married.
Well, that's because you could literally like. That's just because you can get away with more as women. Like, dead ass. Like, if I was dating a girl, I could post exactly the same way as I would in any relationship, and like no one would think a thing of it. I've like done that before. Actually, there's only 6 people here. Trust tree. Earlier this year, I was dating someone for like a couple months, and like nobody even like said a word. Like, it was not suspicious. It was not. No one was like, ooh, like, are they like? No, it was. People are so heteronormative, but especially with women, because men, you can like get a little bit like you can get away with more than you could as like a man and a woman, but people are.
So you've seen Either Operator, right?
Yeah.
Remember when, I think it's an All-Star game, when Ilya basically licks the side of Shane's helmet?
Yeah.
And a bunch of people who don't watch hockey were like, how did everyone not realize they were fucking at that moment?
That to me is like a non-sexual thing to do. Is that crazy?
One, but two, the one thing I will defend, not very many parts of the hockey parts of Heated Robbery. That I will absolutely defend Peter Robbery for, because Connor and Leon, the first time they made the Cup Finals together, every round when they would win, they wouldn't hug the team. There'd be a team hug. And then you know what there would also be? A Connor-Leon hug that was more touching than most people's first embrace at a wedding. And it's there's literally one shot where you see the team hug and then you just see 2 pairs of skates skating by in the background.
That's so
And
funny.
it's just like, well, the faggots are faggoting, I guess. Like,
me at all times reading Tony Blair's book, if I'm honest. I'm like, and it does just like make me so mad as someone who could like, who everyone always thinks I'm like, God forbid I go out to dinner with someone, everyone's like, they're fucking, and I'm like, whatever, like a man. But I'm like, again, I dated beep for like 4 months and nobody noticed because like it was like whatever. But I'm like, imagine if I I was gonna try to pick a random male F1 TikToker, but I can't even think of one that like is straight at the current moment in time. The These AI summaries is kidding me. His new relationship with MBS. Imagine if Tony Blair started dating MBS. That'd be fucking hilarious as shit. But like, imagine if I and like that random hot Ferrari man started going on like weekly. We worked in an office job together, and then we also went on weekly, like weekend getaways from time to time to the Carlisle Hotel where we would get dressed up in suits for dinner and stare into each other's eyes. Would anyone believe we were not fucking? Like,
so the crazy thing is, I've written a. I don't think I've ever sent you this, Tariq. One of the books I've written is unpublished as of yet. Is gay soccer player. Fell in love with a guy, and they're like dating in the closet for like a year, and then it all kind of explodes into the open. And it's like the chronicle of a year, basically from the moment that the secret starts to unravel. The sure side, is fiction, is that England wins the World Cup at the end of the book. But
me, when I found out last World Cup around, I found out that they'd only won once, and I'm like, girl, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, no, it's quite bad. No, it was very funny because I said to some people, and they're like, it was very funny because I like dozen-ish people have read it, and a few people were like, bro, like they could have just like gone to dinner together as friends. No one would have cared. And then I sent it to a bunch of Europeans who were like, oh, you mean a United? Yeah, no, Manchester United star boy absolutely could not have dinner repeatedly with the same guy. Everyone would think they were fucking.
I don't think so.
Yes. Oh, for sure they would.
I think if Tony Blair and Gordon Brown got away with it.
Tony Blair and Gordon Brown got away with it because nobody cared about Tony Blair and Gordon Brown.
They were the presidents of England.
Yeah, but they weren't when they were getting dinner at the Carlisle Hotel.
True. And they were like the 18th most important person in that room at the. But I'm not saying they would have gotten caught. I'm saying like the fact that, and I think that like they're also taking advantage. Tony Blair is taking advantage of the fact that it's rude, it's like problematic to like talk about. Because how anyone could read that book and be like, and not have some serious questions. Even Gordon Brown's book, what's crazy is that they both talk about all this travel they did together, but neither of them mention the same events. So I'm like, they went, and Gordon Brown's like, we went on like this trip to Australia for like 8 weeks and it changed my life. And like, we like went to meet with the Labor Party and like we were like on this beach, and this whole crazy story. And I'm like, both of you, oh, not him actually. Tony, like, I'm like, Tony Blair, where are your children? Surely you have like Little League or something right now that you could be at. Like,
one F1 related point, and then one. I agree with everything you just said. One F1 related point, one non. I'm going to do the non first. Do you know who the U.S. ambassador to the Bahamas is?
Ugh, I don't even want to know. Is it someone terrible? I thought. Great.
I just found that out because he released a video talking about the danger of like ski-doos and such. To be careful when using.
Okay. Well, I just found out that Charles Kushner is our ambassador to France the other day, so it really, from that, you can only.
That one was really fun because didn't Trump have to pardon him?
Yes.
That's fun.
Because he's a criminal. What's funny is that he didn't pardon him in the first term.
Truly hilarious. Can I get enough on takeoff?
Sure.
I think you might get mad at me for what I'm about to say.
Great.
Is Lewis winning the world championship?
You listen. All this does is feed my hashtag Ferrari's back narrative, but like no, because Ferrari's gonna fuck it up. I don't know how, but they will.
Well, you've heard the rumors that the engine fix is like pretty close.
Yep.
And they were the fastest car on track.
Where there is a will, there is a way, Evan. You can't never know how they're gonna fuck it up.
Here's the thing: you've got two Mercs who are going to be taking points off each other.
Just when you think you're gonna zig, they're gonna zag. Yeah, but if you think Charles is just gonna be like not in this at all, you're crazy. So.
Yeah, but I think yes, but I think.
I think it's possible, but only if McLaren is like in it a little bit as well. I think there needs to be like more than 4 drivers.
I'm getting my actual takeoff. Kimi Antonelli will not be a world champion.
Okay, I believe you. Oh wait, how do you feel about? Sorry, I can't believe we've gotten this far into this. We're 2 hours in. The George podium.
Okay, so I found out this happened from your video, and I would like to say that one of my favorite parts about Mercedes as a F1 team, we do not celebrate mediocrity.
Well,
that was a win lost, not a podium gain.
Yeah, because of them. And you can't even go cheer your boy?
I agree with that. And I'm not happy with the strategy team. I mean, James Bell is flopping like a fucking fish. So, like, Williams want to fucking fire.
James Bells is on Broad Watch big time.
But, like, hey, you want to give me James Bells back for fucking strategy? Let's fucking do that. But, no. Look, podium, that was not a podium game. That was a win-loss. And I think that, like, oh my God, the team didn't celebrate my third place. That should have been a first place. Carlos Sainz fucking bullshit from like all that fucking
Okay,
time.
well, that was also.
This was my opinion when it was Carlos at Ferrari. This is my opinion now. When you have a race-winning, potentially championship-winning car, you don't celebrate second place. If you're fucking Williams, if you're fucking Haas, if you're whoever, if you're Toro Rosso, celebrate that podium like it's a goddamn fucking WDC.
Yeah, I guess I just kind of view it as like adding insult.
Second place. Who fucking cares?
I view it as like kind of adding insult to injury. Like you screwed him over and then you couldn't even show up and clap. Like.
Oh no, how terrible. It's a triple header. They've got shit to do. They've had 2 engine failures in like 3 races. And by that I mean 2 engine failures in 2 actual races, because let's be real, Monaco is not really racing in any material way.
Yeah.
They got shit to do. They got shit to do. I don't want you celebrating mediocrity. How about you find some money in the fucking cost cap, buddy, and get me an aero upgrade?
Agree.
So that we don't fucking blow this shit to you guys.
Agree. No, that's good. That's a good spin zone. I like it.
No, it's just like I have only so much time.
I also don't think George cares.
It's not. This isn't the triple header. The triple header is it's not a triple header. It's 2 doubles. Why did I think it was a triple header?
Yeah, I thought we had a week off.
No, it's double. It's double header.
Oh no.
Sorry, it's double header. It's double header week off, double header week off, double header summer break, and then it's Oh, fucking hell. Fuck this. It's Zandvoort week off Monza.
Oh,
Fuck that.
that's weird.
It's because Monza and the fucking Madrid is a double.
Great, another shitty street track. I actually don't even know what the track looks like, so don't come for me. But wait,
I sent you the fucking video of the.
Oh, the banking, but like that means nothing. Wait. I need to look up the ticket. Is that happening this year?
Yes.
Fuck, I meant to look up the ticket prices for the most accessible race.
I told you, I sent you a video of a guy doing a hot lap around the Madrid circuit in the video game.
Did you? Okay, I'll have to go back and watch.
Did you not watch the TikToks I sent you?
I do. I really do. I don't remember that specific one. Oh, the most accessible Formula One race. The cheapest 3-day ticket that you can get is $1,300.
Oh, I mean, gotta love.
Dollars.
Oh, I mean, gotta love Liberty Media.
It's almost another Miami. Isn't everybody so glad that they went out and promoted how great Miami is? Maybe you can get free tickets to this one too. Sorry, that's so mean, and so many people that I love and respect have done that, and I really truly mean no shade, but it does grind my gears. I hate Miami. I hate it. Am
I allowed to be not mean about Miami? Am I allowed to be ever so slightly mean about somebody that I know we both love immensely?
No. I don't want to talk shit, but it's like the Vegas, and listen, I met Nico in Vegas. Like I'm not any better.
That was not for the Grand Prix.
No, it was for a car company randomly, but but like if it had been for the Grand Prix, I would have done it. Like if they were like win a hot lap with Sebastian Vettel, but you have to like get online and say you think who's the guy that owns the Dolphins is like the greatest man to ever live. Like I'd fucking do it. I don't give a shit. So, no hate, no shade. But I like it is these people want to blame it on the Middle Eastern races, and like to an extent, yeah, but like at the end of the day, Qatars don't grow on trees. Like there's only so many countries that are rich enough and like undemocratic enough to have the kind of cash to splash out on these races. And it's very limited. There's like maybe 5 to 7 countries in the world, and most of them have races by now. But there's an endless amount of billionaires who want to do promo for their stupid sports complex. So, like, to me.
Can I complain about something with the F1 calendar?
Yes.
Here's my real complaint, and this is like the funniest F1 complaint you could ever have. Stop fucking scheduling. Sky, you basically like pay for F1 at this point. Can you get them to stop fucking scheduling your Grand Prix weekend for the weekend of the fucking British Grand Prix? Not British Grand Prix, British Open.
Oh yeah.
Can we just not do this? Like, do you not have any strings you can pull here? I don't want to have to double screen early morning at fucking Birkdale. With fucking Saturday at Spa. Fuck that.
Birkdale Golf.
Real Birkdale. It's the 26th. Oh my god, do you not know the Birkdale lore?
No.
The last time the Open Championship was at Royal Birkdale, Jordan Spieth, my boy, my beloved, my literal favorite athlete of all time, spent 20 minutes between hitting golf shots because he hit it into a hill, and he tried to take. And in golf, if you take a penalty, you can go as far back as you want technically to hit the shot on a straight line.
Okay.
Which put him into the TV, like the TV trucks. which meant that he could then take free relief from the trucks to the driving green beside him. And so instead of having to hit 3 off the tee, he's hitting 3 from a manicured patch of grass. That's like the nicest line you could have. He takes 20 minutes being the ultimate Karen. Somehow makes a 5 on the hole. And by the way, they're tied. This is 13 on Sunday at a major, okay? He pulls this, somehow saves bogey. You want to know what he does his next 4 holes?
Flops like a fish.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh no. 4 iron to 4 feet for birdie on a par 3. 50-foot eagle putt on a par 5. Birdie.
Okay.
For 4 holes. The most insane, one of the most insane ends to a golf tournament in years.
Okay.
No, there's not going to be a prioritization thing with Mercedes because, like, that one, that's not how they do this. 2, like, Toto has been around the grid long. I know he wasn't on the grid for 2010, but he's been around and knows enough F1 history to know the risk of a 2010, right?
Yeah.
Where Seb is, quote unquote, not the one. And 3, like, George has enough built up seniority, loyalty.
He also just won't do it. Like, I don't think George will. Like, this ain't Oscar Piastri. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, here's the thing. I think if it were inverted, right?
Yeah.
This is like maybe maybe this is a post-summer break conversation.
I think that George will be if he would have to be far enough back that it's like realistic that he would be like, okay, like I have no.
Is Toto really gonna do this? Like, let's be very real.
I think he'd have to be pretty far back. He'd have to be like Mark Webber 2012 levels of like you're realistically not in this. You know what I mean?
Is Toto Wolff really making that call to fuck over for Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah.
I don't think so. Do you think George Russell is doing this to help Kimi Antonelli over Lewis Hamilton?
I think he would go along with it if he was like truly out of it, but I don't think he'll be out of it enough to where.
He won't be out of it enough.
Exactly.
I don't think if this were Lando, yeah, sure, fine, George would probably do it. You think George is doing this shit so his teammate can beat him?
Yeah, you like don't want. I mean,
over the guy, George Russell has been a Lewis Hamilton shooter since he was a little fucking child.
The this is unacceptable tweet. You'll always be famous.
You think George Russell is going to prioritize some Italian twink over Lewis Hamilton getting his 8th?
I recognize that I'm definitely getting a little overexcited about Ferrari's chances, but like
I'm the one who has said the words Lewis Hamilton 8th championship.
I've been trying not to. I've been trying to remain calm and to be chill about it, but I am in my head. I'm like Ferrari's back. Like Charles is winning Monza. Like I don't care. If Charles wins Monza, Dev and I like need to get like exercised or something because he crashed. He had a terrible race for both of the races we went to last year.
I mean, here's the real thing. I'm gonna be real. I think that Saturday, if I'm a Kimi fan, that Saturday quali should have me fucking terrified. 3/10 dunked on your head by a guy who's like in the middle of having a mental breakdown.
Yeah, that is true. 3/10 is crazy. I guess I didn't realize it was that much, especially like as a turnaround because like George was flopping so hard and now he's just like back. I don't know. But the qualifying performance was like weirdly the strangest part of it to me always because like George is good in quali. So like I was like, what is the deal with this? Maybe he just remembered who he was. I don't know. But
remember, George won in quali in Montreal twice.
Yeah, that's true. No, George has had some genuine, like, bad luck at this point, and, like, this is the first time Kimmy has really, like, equalized that a little bit. So, you know.
So, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, George would have been on pole in China, got fucked by the safety car in Japan. Obviously, 33-point swing against him in Montreal.
Oh, that sucks so bad.
So but let's see. You know, Kimmy might have ended up winning. You know, oh no, sorry, 43-point swing. Whatever. It's bad. Is all I'm getting at. No, it is 33. I was right. I can't do math. Probably it's 32 actually. Technically, no, I can't do math. I might be a tad inebriated. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah.
Could you tell?
No, but
Really?
I just like maybe only because of our detour into Ontario politics, but I also love hearing about it. So, but yeah, no, I at least listen, at least it's shaping up to be an interesting season. At least we're not in the at least we've escaped the trenches of the McLaren flop off. That's really what I care about.
So here's the thing, right? What made the George being bad weekends fun, and obviously not fun for me, but like for the community, is like we have expectations on George Russell, which makes it. It's the same thing happening to Charles, by the way, which I think is equally as stupid. But like, it's fun to have drivers that you have expectations on in the best cars, because here's the thing, right? It's just a lot more narratively fun when it's why does Charles or George or Max or Lewis suck than like, well, the McLarens are kind of having a mid-off.
Yeah, because neither of them were doing like really badly either. It was just kind of like.
And when they're both kind of not top tier drivers, it's hard to, like, you know, like if McLaren came, 2-4 last year in equality, it's like, well, like we think that they should have been on pole, but it's like
Who knows? Yeah.
because like it's just like I don't know how impressive or unimpressive is it. Whereas like what, a Merc has every Grand Prix sprint or Grand Prix pole position this year. Lewis is.
I know. We're like Lewis is. We're like Ferraris in the championship. We're like Ferraris in the championship fight. Meanwhile, Mercedes has won every session of the year, except for one.
But it's just like it is just a lot more fun to have this like to have teams with drivers that you have expectations of, in this fight, in these places, in these positions. It's just a lot more fun when it's like, it's funny. Maybe it's just the section of the internet I'm on has been like nicer to Charles than I was expecting.
Not the one I'm on, partner.
Well, okay. Sorry. To be clear, after Sunday, I feel like people have been relatively nice to Charles. Saturday, I was on the same section of the internet that you were on, which is, oh my god. Did you see the guy tweeting, like, Charles needs a fucking sabbatical? He's more concerned about what face cream he's going to be wearing after the race than how to maximize.
Yeah, but that's just, I'm pretty sure that's the confessor guy. Like, he's just a troll. He always tweets like that.
But, like, it was just so funny because it's like, guys, like.
No, and these are the same people that dealt with a year of Lewis Hamilton flopping like a fish last year, but God forbid, one race, and they're like, he obviously sucks as a driver. I'm like, you guys are doing the same thing you were yelling at people for, like, literally 2 months ago. Like, how does that not click in your brain? But the confessor guy, like, it does click in his brain. He's just being a troll. Like, that, he's not being genuine. But, like, there are people.
If Charles is about Austria, that's where I'll maybe start to, like, that's where I'll not even, like, start to ring the alarm bells, but just be like, oh, okay, well, this is, like, a real thing.
We'll start edging toward the drawer where we store the panic button,
But, like, drivers have bogey tracks. It happens. And, like, Montreal is, for whatever reason, a bogey track for Charles. It just is. I don't know what it is. But, like, like Montreal, I'm not that concerned about Montreal. Remind me what happened to Charles in Monaco? I don't remember. Do I remember anything about the Monaco crash?
He got out. Lewis out-qualified him though, so it was bad. But the people are like he crashed in quali, but like not really. He set a lap and then he did 2 hot laps in a row because he had time and he hit the wall on the last one. But like it was obviously because he was like I'm gonna try something crazy, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even like a real. It was enough of a crash into the wall to like.
Right, because Charles's Monaco prep was like completely fucked because his first lap didn't work, and so they like high fueled him and
Yeah.
oh god, right, yeah.
And then they screwed him on the pit stop because he was behind Lewis, who had a penalty because they wanted to maintain their position.
We argued about this. Yeah. We argued about this, and I didn't really understand why everyone was that mad about it. Yeah.
In hindsight, like it wasn't that big of a deal, but I also like I am just whatever. Like for Charles getting fucked over in Monaco, more news at 6. Oh yeah, I've been hearing that. I mean, I think it would be sweet. Like that's where he started his career with Flavio. He could end it, but like who are they gonna fire? They're both doing good, so I don't know.
I mean, you should be deeply opposed to this.
Yeah, because they're gonna fire the love of my life.
Exactly. Did you ever make a video about the like Gasly reinstatement?
No.
You have an opinion?
Who did he knock off the podium? Isaac? Bullshit.
Yes.
I disagree.
Okay. I seemingly have a stronger take than you. Can I get
Yeah, I've never cared about Pierre Gasly one time, so go for it.
Least attractive thing Pierre Gasly has ever done. You watch. Fucking deal with it.
Yeah, I don't.
I fucking dig it. Like, I'm really sorry. Like, congratulations. You were like you had Spartism, whatever. For Alpine, the 8 additional points probably matters. The 12-point gap.
Yeah, the thing is, I actually don't. I would
understand why Alpine does it, but like he's gonna claim he now has a Monaco podium. No, you don't, bro.
Well, no, unless you can't be like, unless you stood on the podium. I think for you as a driver, it definitely means less. But also, I'm not like, oh, just like because I think when you're in the midfield, it does fucking matter. And those 8 points are going to matter a lot for Pierre's own ranking and for Alpine's money. So I think that it is important.
I understand why Alpine did it, and I understand why you're celebrating it. Bro, you did not. You were not on the podium for Monaco. I know you were going to claim that you had been.
Adrian Newey is far from fraud watch.
No, because Adrian. Well, okay, Adrian Newey is ever so slightly on fraud watch. Because what do you mean you like didn't ask anybody to make sure that your engine was not?
He wasn't the team principal at the time. It was categorically not his job to be checking. Are you saying that no one in the history of humanity has ever asked a question technically out of their strict domain? No, it's true. It is. That whole thing is so crazy to me. Like the fact that you thought the Honda, like you should have gone to Ferrari. No, God. Oh, because he loves his wife or whatever. No, I don't need a 5-year fucking Ferrari domination. I do. You guys already have the best fucking chassis. You don't need fucking Dewey. We do. You're gonna win the championship. You're fine. Okay. Let me know when Ferrari wins more than one singular session in the entire season. I mean, hey, it's better than winning the China Sprint race. Because you definitely cheated. Stay mad. You know, I spiritually don't. I don't believe that. No, I'm just surprised that the China Sprint race thing, that no one's repeated the very obviously made your car illegal on Friday of a sprint weekend, and then make it legal on Saturday. Low key genius when you think about it. No, I couldn't we all watched. I knew that they were disqualified on Sunday, but we all watched.
Let's go. Let's go. Uruguay just scored against Saudi Arabia.
Go Uruguay. Never forget when my ex-boyfriend was like, I'm going to Uruguay for a bachelor party. And I was like, no, the fuck you're not. Like, I don't know what you are going to do there, but I know it's diabolical because no one has ever gone there. So, what's up with that?
Oh, I mean, it's iconic. Okay. Do you have, okay, last question that I'm going to go.
Okie doke.
Have you watched a singular second of anything World Cup related?
No. No, that's not true. I watched Gordon Brown's little social media video that he put out for the Scotland team.
So you didn't see so you haven't seen the glory and the greatness that is the Fox World Cup coverage?
No, why? Is it like really funny?
So the Fox's soccer coverage has been an abomination, a well-known abomination for years now. And this year they decided to fix it by hiring. Okay, let me back up. Have you ever seen the CBS soccer show during the year of the Champions League show?
No.
It's Kate Abdo, or Kate Scott now, Thierry Henry, Michael Richards, and Jamie Carragher.
I know 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4, and I think that that's a pretty solid ratio for me. I don't know. Jamie Carragher, he's a player, and Thierry Henry, he's French. I know that. Yeah.
So it's the greatest show in football commentary. It's
good.
Fucking incredible. And part of the reason it's incredible is because they let them cook, right? Like it's inside the NBA, except for the fact that Carragher, Henry, and Richards care far more about modern soccer than
they do about that.
Yeah, than they do with the NBA.
I would listen to Charles Barkley talk about fucking anything. Like, he could get up there and be like, my morning routine, and I'd be locked the fuck in. I don't even like basketball. I just love.
Do you remember the time Charles Barkley says he doesn't wear underwear because it's too tight on him?
Yes. Yes, I do. I am like the world's number. I just want him to be a stand-up comedian. Like, I'm like, you shouldn't even be limited by the topic of basketball.
Do you remember the Pablo Torre, Bomani Jones ESPN show?
No, I don't know who either of those people are, I fear.
Really? You don't know who Pablo Torre is?
No, is he basketball?
He's the guy who exposed that the Clippers.
Oh, the guy that said the N-word.
No.
The Clippers owner?
No, the new Clipper scandal. The paying Kawhi Leonard under the table through his fucking life through like a tree planting charity.
Yes, yes. No, I do remember the tree scandal. I remember the tree scandal.
No, and then
okay, so he's like a journalist.
Apparently, I just have to send you a bunch of clips. There's a great bit from the ill-fated High Noon, of Pablo talking about Charles Barkley being too fat to wear underwear, which is incredible. But so the Fox coverage is Thierry Henry, Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
They're letting him on live TV.
Yes. And then the third person on this is Alexi Lalas.
I know Zlatan because he's the one who talks about himself in the third person. The Antonio Brown of soccer.
Do you know that Antonio Brown's doing porn now, by the way?
I feel like you told me that and I blocked it out. Now I'm re-remembering it. That's sad.
So there have been. Oh, and then the host of the Fox panel is Rebecca Lowe, I believe is her name. She does the NBC coverage. She's incredible too. So it's 3 incredible people and this like fucking
and the craziest man you've ever seen in your life.
No. Zlatan's incredible. Zlatan is in The Incredible One.
Oh, okay.
And then this fucking failed ass mediocre American man. And there have been like 5 reaction gifs of Zlatan and Henri seeing what Alexi Lalas has said. It is the funniest shit. I will find it, send it to you.
You got to. Zlatan might kill him. Like that.
Honestly, TT might be the one who does it. Bro looks like a serial killer having to do this. It's my favorite thing in the world.
Why isn't Alistair Campbell doing World Cup coverage? That's what I want.
Well, the funny thing is that Britain has some of the games on BBC and some of them on ITV. And so their ITV panel, there's 2 different, like, the commentator jobs have been spread out.
Yeah.
Across the 2 of them. And the funniest part of it is the coverage on both of them seems like it's pretty good. But the really funny thing is there's this like whole scandal in air quote scandal. There's this one ex-female England player who's mad that she doesn't get enough jobs commentating on women's soccer in England because this former Arsenal legend Ian Wright is like taking too many of the jobs, and she wants him to like stop taking the jobs and tell the broadcasters to give her the jobs.
Loser.
And every immense loser behavior, and it's so bad that I haven't seen anyone try and defend.
Oh, that's bad.
Like even like everyone.
Also, like, no offense, but like you want, like, if I'm thinking purely from a media perspective, like a like strategic, like I want I want soccer to succeed. I am like, yeah, I want the most famous people.
Do the women's Euros final is far better for the state of women's soccer than
I want the most famous person possible. Like, period.
Obviously, like it's completely self-defeating. But the really funny thing is one of the commentator, I don't remember if she's doing it for BBC or ITV.
What? Wait, have they given that man that I love a job?
Who do you love?
The guy, I've sent you clips of him who's like, the one is really funny where he's like, I have people say I'm nonsense kids. 3 and it's 3-0 to Palace.
Yes. No, Gary Neville. Gary Neville is buying that guy's company.
Okay.
So that's going to be really funny. But Goldbridge is incredible.
My favorite one is the extended porn star metaphor where he's like, and then again, this goes on for like 10 minutes. And he's like, and then I show up and they only have guys for me to fuck. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not my style of play. Why was this the metaphor?
Goldbridge is incredible because once he starts walking down the road, he will not stop.
Oh, he's like, nothing wrong with it, just not my style of play. And I'm like,
yeah, no, he refuses to bail out. He refuses to bail out of an extended metaphor that's not working.
Those are the best ones, though. When the metaphor isn't working, that is always when it's the best.
You just gotta drive through. No, but the really funny thing is, both the ITV and the BBC coverage have like a couple of pundit spots for like female, like ex-female players, and it's like it's really funny because honestly they are like some of the best. Although I hate one of them. Not that she has done nothing wrong. She's incredibly smart. She talks about footy, but she just won Strictly Come Dancing, or not? Yeah, the American Dancing with the Stars.
Oh,
British Dancing with the Stars, and I liked the person that she beat, so I hate her.
I'm crying, not the Dancing with the Stars grudge.
But it's just like, it's just so funny to me because it's like, this is the best advertisement for women's football is the fact that you just have Karen Kearney and Jill Scott. I think it's Jill Scott. On these things, and it's just like, yes, that is the advertisement for women's football. Have the women just kick ass. in the men's game. But no, we need to know. But the women's game, God forbid we have an Arsenal legend who everybody loves, who has been a staunch defender of women's football for over 35 years now. God forbid he does a couple of games.
No, he
while also setting a standard that we need only the gender being played can talk about can talk about it.
Yeah, I bet you she's not turning down. If the World Cup comes calling, she's not turning it down.
Yeah, fucking of course, right? And it's like, it's so much better that you have
like the WNBA would murder to have Charles Barkley on their coverage. Like,
so you know, one of the greatest things that Canada does, we have for our March Madness coverage. We get like the in-game stuff. We just steal like the U.S. broadcasts, but for like the panels,
yeah, like
we use our own pundits. We use one of the WNBA players, Canadian Kia Nurse. Yeah, we've given her a broadcasting job for 4 or 5 straight years.
Because this is why Drive to Survive worked. And this is why having women's players on these panels is good, because it's like, you need to get buy-in. If you just parachute someone in to like the middle of a sport, even if they understand the sport, but especially if they don't, like, why do I care? Humans want human stories. That's why they tie sports teams to a location, right? To get the buy-in and the emotional investment, because you already have that emotional investment in a place, right? So like, in order to, like, I don't know, I just feel like people are so stupid about the way that they market shit.
Well, and especially with the fact that, you know, like one of the in Canada we have like 2 main broadcasters, and TSN they don't have the national hockey rights. They have a bunch of locals, which means that they actually have more talent. And they're just like, they just have a few like ex-female players, like Cheryl Pounder does like a lot of the local Sens games. She's fucking better than most of the men. She's better than all the fucking men who do the national games on the other network.
Yeah.
It's just like, and it's especially interesting with how the men's sports have gotten more skilled and less like sort of physically imposing in the last 10 years, right? Like hockey, you know, just like think about the threes explosion. Well, that was the women's game. The women's basketball game was always threes and spacing, more so than like brute physicality, because the women just weren't as physical. So it's actually quite interesting to see that perspective, because I would much rather listen to a 28-year-old current WNBA player in Kia Nurse talk about the state of basketball right now than a 55-year-old who's still mad that they don't just throw it at the center 5 times to start every fucking half. Yeah. You know?
Yes. No, I'm with you. I am going to tune into the World Cup a little bit. How's Scotland doing? Are they winning?
They beat Haiti.
Okay, I mean, that's not like...
But they're probably into the round of 32 with that performance.
All right, let's go. Yep. Yeah, they expanded it, didn't they? I know that we won a game. I didn't even know we were in it.
You guys won the host country's honor qualifier.
Yeah, I didn't realize we got a charity. We got a charity bid.
Okay, but here's the thing. So, okay, this will be my last point, because my phone's at 2%, so I might die, and if I do, that's why. No, people are complaining that like Canadian taxpayers are on the hook for hosting this World Cup. Yeah, no, the reason we agreed to do this like co-hosting the World Cup thing with y'all 7 years ago is because we didn't think we were good enough to qualify for the World Cup on our own. So we agreed to do it to get the automatic
bid.
We did not lose a game. We drew to Bosnia. It was a great performance, and we will do better against teams that do not drop in to a disgusting low block. Do not do this to me, Fernando. Do not. It was not in. No, but here's the thing. We were buying a pity quality. And then in 2022, the last 32-team World Cup, we actually were just good enough to qualify anyways.
Hey.
So, but we didn't know that when we agreed to do this shit in like 2018. We thought we were buying our qualification by agreeing to host like 5 games. That was the point of agreeing to host the games, was
Yeah.
the higher qualification. And then it turned out actually no, we were just like good enough not only to qualify, but they're in North American qualifying in the under the old system. Top 3 teams, top 8 played each other home and away, 14 games. 7 at home, 7 on the road. We came first in the octo. We took points. We got 4 points out of Mexico and 4 points out of the USA. We went to Nashville and got a draw out of you. We got a draw out of the Azteca. And we beat Mexico in the snow because we made Mexico. Most iconic moment in Canadian soccer history. We made Mexico come to play us in qualifiers in Edmonton in November. And we played in the goddamn fucking snow. And we beat those bastards.
Well, yeah, I would fucking hope so.
Fuck yeah. Go Canada Soccer. Long live the 2022 Octo, baby. Fuck yeah. Go Alfonso. Oh, and also, by the way, our best player was hurt and couldn't play in the first game. But he'll be back by the third game.
No, and also it's nice. I feel like Bosnia, I'm rooting for Bosnia.
So the thing is, it was supposed to be Italy, which is why that was the game that was in Toronto, because 2 of the Canada games are in Vancouver and 1 of them was in Toronto. And Bosnia beat, when they did the draw, they hadn't figured out who was going to win that European qualifying space yet.
Yeah.
So we drew what was supposed to be Italy. So they scheduled that game for Toronto so that 20,000 Italian Canadians would be in the stands. And then Italy failed to qualify for the World Cup, and we got Bosnia, which, hey, we got a point. We'll beat Qatar. We'll beat Qatar on Thursday. And, I mean, hell, with Switzerland fucking botching the Qatar game, we could come out of here with 5 points in a group 1.
Not bad.
You guys looking good though. You looked. I only got to watch bits and pieces of the game, but you guys looked damn good on Friday night.
Yeah, no, I feel like we'll do okay. I mean, good for us. We're just happy to be here.
I will say, it is one of the greatest points of pride in my life that I am Twitter mutuals, and not just Twitter mutuals, but Twitter mutuals who responds to 80% of my tweets at him, with a guy who is now who is the sort of leading soccer guest for Bill Simmons.
All right.
There was something very funny about downloading the Thursday Bill Simmons podcast for my bus ride to Toronto. And it's oh yes, the other person on this podcast. One of the people on the podcast is a guy I'm literally Twitter mutuals with. And
oh, Twitter.
I would say internet friends with.
Love a good internet friend. Love a good internet friend. All right. Well,
I mean, the fact that you tolerate my bullshit is a miracle.
You're one of my.
I'll send you the best. I'll send you the best Scotland guys in a minute.
Yes, and I will let you go so your phone doesn't die. But see ya. All right, and